Welcome to the Crystal Coach Show with me, your host, Anahata, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. Are you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, maybe disconnected? Do you ever feel like you don't know how to live a life of peace and joy? I am Anahata Roach, the Crystal Coach, and during this show, we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. The Crystal Coach Show leaves you with a feeling of connection and the clarity that takes towards becoming the best version of yourself as you hear from thought leaders and many others to help you ignite the crystalline nature of who you really are. Stay tuned. The Crystal Coach Show starts now. Hello, and welcome to the Crystal Coach Show. I'm your host, Anahata, and today is one of those teaching moment kind of days. Plans are fluid, and especially during Mercury retrogrades, which seem to be affecting a lot of communication and plans and technology. And so keeping an open mind when things don't quite go as you planned is what I would like to talk about today because it just happened to me. I had planned to have a guest on my show today who I was really excited to speak with, but due to a family emergency, she wasn't able to be here. So hopefully she can be here down the road a little bit. We're looking at another time that she can reschedule with us. But anyway, it's just like the culmination of a lot of other things that have happened to me in the last week. We had a torrential rain, and I've noticed in my office that there has been these ceiling tiles that keep getting stained and water. And I mean, the last big rain, one of the tiles was bulging, like literally had like a bulge coming down. And I'm like, oh boy, this is bad. Reported it, nothing happened, no change of ceiling tiles, no nothing. Well, the last time it rained recently, boom, gone, done. It's a big hole in my ceiling at the office. And because it's been accumulation of like 2 years, the insulation above my office is full of mold. So I'm like, I can't broadcast from my office, which I had to create something at home. And, it was like one thing right after another. And I'm just like, all right, fine. How do I cope with this? And guess what? They were supposed to come and do the roofing, uh, whatever that was causing the leak into my office. I'm on the top floor of my building. And I had no clients scheduled for last week because that was my birthday week. And these are my birthday roses for my husband. But that was my birthday week, and we had visitors in from out of town. And I just cleared my calendar for that week. And the roofers were supposed to come at that point during the week. And, that would have been perfect. You know when they're coming? Today. And when I found out that they were going to be coming today, I mean, I was still thinking I was going to do my podcast from my office, right? No. My first gut reaction was, no, they can't. Oh my God. And I'd get really upset, right? And then it was just like, are you kidding? All right. So you can't even go in there anyway because of the mold. Gives you a headache and makes you just sick. Yeah, that's right. I can't. So, who wants to stay in a place that's got mold in it? That's, you don't want to breathe those mold spores. They're not good for you. So okay, so I'm going to be doing it from here. So I knew that, and I had brought my equipment, but I didn't bring all of my equipment. So I'm still having to make do with, um, you know, you just got to show up and do your stuff, right? So in everyday life, we have opportunities to choose between reacting negatively or reacting from a place of kind of neutrality around it. The reason we react negatively to changes that come up is because we get these emotional attachments to our plans. You know, the old saying about when we make plans, God laughs, and especially during Mercury retrograde, that's a big joke. It's a big joke on us when we think, uh, we can make plans that are going to turn out the way we anticipate. Uh, but, it's fine coming on here and talking to you from my heart about something that's just happened to me. It seems like that's the best use of the self mastery techniques that I've learned from Michelle Patrick, who is not able to be here today, but she will at some point be on my show. So, and when she does, we'll dive really deep into that whole self mastery thing. But the aspect of self mastery is, how do you how do you perceive change in your life? The first thing that you want to do is be afraid of change, because that's an egoic kind of perspective, and it's affecting you personally. But the other aspect is to kind of raise yourself up a little bit out of the me experience, the single body experience, and say, okay, what is this teaching me? What is this an opportunity to do better? And yeah, so I just was like, okay, we're not going to have a guest on today. So I didn't have anything prepared, but the universe handed me a subject. And I'm hopeful that this subject is going to be something that other people can really relate to, because how many of us have really been looking forward to a long planned event, or even if we made plans with a friend the week before to meet for lunch, and you're really looking forward to that, and life happens. Either something happens in your life, or something happens in the other person's life, or something other prevents what you had anticipated and were really emotionally attached to doing, prevents it from occurring on that timeline that you had set, right? Notice I didn't say ever prevented it from ever recurring, but not on the timeline that you had already predicted or you had anticipated, right? So yeah, I just have to laugh at it. It gets to kind of be comical after a while. I kind of feel that sometimes my guides like like to mess with me, and to see how, okay, well, let's poke the bear, let's see how she reacts, right? And see how well she's internalizing all of the clearings and changes and practices and belief systems that she's now holding. And so my first reaction of and getting angry was quickly quelled by the other aspect of me that's healed that says, hey, listen, what, getting angry about it is not going to change it. Being frustrated doesn't help the situation. you know Getting to the place where you just like, oh my god, now what do I do? That's when you feel you're giving away your own power by allowing something outside of you to change how you feel. And it's not only in my life, I see it in my coaching business too. So you just, if you get attached and really wrapped up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, even physically, if you get wrapped up in something having to happen a certain way at a certain time in this sequence, and it doesn't happen, you get so discombobulated that there's really no room for any other option. And so then you just feel kind of stuck. Well, now what do I do? If you can see things in a more fluid way, and especially during micro, some people call it Mercury in the microwave, Mercury in retrograde, which some folks say, oh well, that's just hooey. Well, for me, it's a thing that I kind of attribute glitches like this to, because it seems to happen more often on for me in when this is occurring than when it's not. So go figure. Anyway, my point is that we if we are allowing for change, if we go into a plan with the idea that it may or may not go through, um, we would like it to, but if you're going into a planning phase with this must happen at this time or this will not ever be right, that's when you get yourself in a pretzel. If you go into it with, this is what I desire to do, whatever's in my highest and best good, may it be so, this or better, this or better. The reason that you say that is because if you get too prescriptive with what your prayer is or what your desire is, you're literally handcuffing the universe and its ability to bring you exactly what's in alignment for you, what's in your highest and best good. So I'm learning as I go that the more I can be in a place of allowing and possibility, the easier life becomes for me. When we come back, I'd like to share with you a little bit. I'm going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to share with you a method that I use to kind of get in touch with my the wisdom of my own body. It's a kind of a muscle testing thing, and it's really easy to learn, but in times of stress or change, it can help you to get some guidance for yourself and for an ability to move into a better way to manage the chaos that's coming through, right? But we'll be right back. We'll take a quick short break. Hi there. Welcome back to the Crystal Coach Show. I'm your host, Anahata, and we have been talking about how to pivot when things go awry. Now, one of the ways in which it's a little life hack that I do, I use it actually in my emotional coaching um, process, and but I also use it in my own life to get information to help myself kind of ground and mm, be get some clarity. Yeah. So it's called muscle testing. It's a way of applied kinesthesiology for those in the for the nerds in the back. It's applied kinesthesiology, and if you want to learn more about that, then you can go Google that. Um, my process that I have been certified in as an advanced practitioner is called the spiral. And the original process was developed by a man named Dane Thomas. And he wrote a book called Clear Your Shit. And in it, there is a way in which he describes how to help yourself go through some emotional clearing process. And there's always that's a very helpful book, but the thing that I'm going to describe to you is also in that book, which is why I mentioned it. And it's a sometimes you can do what you can do for yourself, but then you get to a point where you're stuck and you need somebody else to help you through that. And that's when an advanced practitioner would be someone that you'd want to come see. But I would recommend going out, and it's on Amazon. You can just go Google it, find it on Amazon. It's in paperback or Kindle. Clear your shit. It's a really good book. Anyway, so enough about Dane. You owe me one, Dur. Um, anyway, so this muscle testing that I've learned is for those who are not watching the video. I'm going to describe it to you. With my right hand, which is my dominant hand, I am making a circle by touching my thumb to my pinky. Because my pinky is like the weakest link in my fingers on my right hand. And I'm in taking that circle and I'm putting it around my thumb on my left hand. So to ascertain a yes or a no, for me, I say a lock, which means I can't break it, is a yes. So you ask my body to show me a yes. So I won't be able to break this as hard as I try. Show me a no, it unlocks. So no is unlock, yes is lock. So if you're having some problems, like, you know, something has some plans have gone awry and you're going, well, what do I do now? So you ask your body, show me yes, show me no, lock it. Then you say, should I go and plan for this or this? And you get yes or no. Then that gives you some perspective, right? That helps you to get out of your cuckoo head, like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, I'm chicken little, running around like the sky is falling. That's that helps for me. It helps me to get back in my body, to get grounded. Listen, your body has multiple avenues for sensory knowledge. It's not just the brain of 5 ways, it's the heart and the multidimensional aspect of the heart that can really give your body a barometer that's far more than the mind can process. Okay, so when you're trusting the entire physical vessel, and especially through the heart, you're tapping into the heart to say yes or no. And that gives you a much clearer, truer kind of information than what could be made up in the head. So to practice this, you would say, you just say something that you know to be true. My, my name is Anahata. Or not, you say, my name is Jane. And so you just go around the house and go, well, that's a lamp. No. You know what I'm saying? There's the rug. Yes, there's the rug. You just practice saying things that are true and are not true. And then you kind of get used to what it feels like when you're asking a question and it's a yes or a no. Okay? That is, it's really that simple. But the more you practice it, the more you can gain confidence that what you're getting is actually from your body and not from your head. Because at first it's your mind controlling the yes and the no. But after you get comfortable with it, then you don't have to use the brain to do this. You're asking the heart yes or no. And the heart will give you exactly what you need. Okay. So yeah, that's that's really what I wanted to share with you, because that's a hack that I use on myself every day for whatever reason. But the more you do it, of course, the more it becomes kind of natural to you for you to do it. And but as I say, if you get really good at that, then you can start to work on clearing away some emotional blocks that are in your way, beliefs or things like, you know, I can't do this because I'm not qualified. Well, your body may say, yes, you are, but your brain is saying, no, I'm not. But if there's something that was instilled in you as a child that's very, very hard to shake off or get to the nugget of it, that's where the spiral process and the certified practitioner can really be helpful in removing that, just delete, picking it up out of the center point and deleting it out of the system. If you're looking at your body as a software driven program, it deletes that program. Yeah. So anyway, kinesthesia, this is muscle testing for me. Muscle testing. Some people use like an arm, they stick out their arm and try to push it down, or, but this is kind of really subtle. You can kind of like sit with your hands in your lap. And if you're across, if you're, for example, if you're in a conference or you're in a meeting and you're trying to ascertain whether or not somebody is blowing smoke or they're for real, you can ask that of yourself, and it's either going to be yes or no. So that kind of gives you some insight and um, ways of, I mean, it's just a hack. So I hope that was helpful. You can practice it. Practice it. Clear Your Shit's the name of the book by Dane Thomas. Okay, so hang on just a second. I have a little bit of indigestion and I need to take a quick break. Not break, but I need to take a quick drink of water. So just a second. I don't know what I ate. Yeah, I do know what I ate. And I do know why. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm back. I have picked out some stones that I want to share with you that would help in situations where plans are changed or plans are not locked in and you feel kind of unmoored and you don't feel like you know what to do or how to overcome it, or it's hard for you to see it as a fluid kind of thing and stay in the flow, so you get stuck. There's all kinds of things that we could recommend, and some of these I've already talked to you about, but I just opened up my rock case, my travel bag of rocks, and I these kind of came out. These came out, and so we'll talk about them. And then I'm hoping I've given you some good insight with uh, how to cope with change and when plans don't go quite the way you want them to go. Well, the first thing that I wanted to give you is, I've shown you this other times before, but this is my Be Here Now stone. This is hematite. Hematite is the Be Here Now. So if your head is just like stuff has happened and you are completely running around like a crazy person up in your head, with your hair's on fire, you're running around, but you hold this nice heavy piece of hematite. You're dropping back in. You're dropping back into your body. You can be present instead of projecting into the future. That's 100% of my problem, is whenever, or had been my problem, is that when something was not going the way I wanted it to, the only thing I could think of was how it's going to play out in the future. Nah, let's be here in the present. And then from the present moment, you can kind of navigate, you can kind of see the landscape a lot clearer. Okay, hematite. That's one. I got a bunch. I may do all of them. I may do just some of them. I don't know. Another one, which is kind of humorous, but I love the energy of this stone, is called Bumblebee Jasper. Bumblebee Jasper because it's black and yellow. And it's it's the don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. And I love the frequency of this. And you could just hold it in your hand, and sometimes the cares just dissolve because it's just how could you not be happy when you're holding something this cute? Seriously. Um let's see. Oh, then you have aquamarine. Now, aquamarine is the stone of release. Okay, it's a water element. So anything emotional that you need to let go of, it can help you release that. So if you're really disappointed, for example, because you have held on to this excitement and then it didn't happen because it didn't go down exactly like you wanted it to, or you had dreamed about, or you had planned for, the aquamarine can help you let go of that. Just let that shit go. There's no reason for you to hold on to it. The only person that's hurting is you, right? So get yourself some aquamarine. It doesn't have to be a big old piece like this. It can be a small little sliver. It's the same frequency of release. It's just the bigger the piece is, the louder it is. It's the same frequency though. Okay, let's see. Um, and then if you need to really kind of focus and get disciplined after being set back by the change in plans, this is a rainbow fluorite. Now, fluorite comes in all kinds of colors. And I bet you can see here it's clear and purple and blue and green. There's even a little bit of yellow in there. And um, I love fluorite to help me stay focused. So I'm just a little bit ADD. So it just helps me stay focused. That frequency is like bringing me back into this. Okay. So the bird's still flying out over there, but I can still watch and be focused and talk, right? So it doesn't matter what's going on around me, I can be focused. That's been so helpful. And in a situation where your plans are not going the way you wanted, it also can be helpful in bringing you back into the center of, okay, now what do I need to get done? Or how are we going to go from this plan to this and achieve a similar outcome, right? Which for me today was to share with you some knowledge and experience. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I've showed you this before too. This is lepidolite, and lepidolite comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes, but this one is a kind of a stacked flat pancake thing. It's purple and it's shiny and it's very pretty. That is one that can help you to um, accept accept that, oh well, I'm really disappointed, but okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. You're tilting at windmills if you're trying to change something that's already done. It is what it is. So now what do you do? Right? You back up 15 yards and punt, as a old high school teacher of mine used to say. Oh, let's see here. Oh, here's a smoky quartz for grounding. So if the hematite didn't do it, smoky quartz will. Um, put these away so I don't pick up the same one every time. Then I've got Laramar. I just love Laramar. It's such a beautiful stone, and it's such a a lovely, gentle frequency. Laramar is all about taking care of you, self care, nurturing. The why are you generating so much cortisol? Take care of yourself. Take a break. Step back. Take a breather. That's what the frequency of Laramar reminds us to do. And it's just like a big hug. If you hold a piece of Laramar, it's like, you're just getting a hug. And sometimes that's really all we need, right? To feel better. Someone could give us a hug, and Laramar is always available to give us a hug. Okay, then I've got Lapis Lazuli, which is a beautiful blue stone with pyrite inclusions if it's from Afghanistan. If it's from Pakistan, normally it does not have the pyrite inclusions, but the stuff from Afghanistan does. And this is to help you be confident. It's got the frequency of I know what I know what I don't know, and I recognize that I don't know what I don't. There's a aspect of this that helps you to go ahead and do a podcast without a guest, for example. It's the kind of, you know, you got this girl kind of frequency that sometimes you need when you feel like you're being pushed out on stage with a spotlight and you have no clothes on or something. It's that kind of a feeling of like, oh my god, I have to do this by myself. Yeah, yeah, you do. It's okay, you can do this. That's what Lapis does for me. That's the frequency it helps me to do. I've shown you this before. You probably can't really see it on the video, but it's green with red dots and it's called a bloodstone. And bloodstone was what the Roman soldiers took into battle with them to give them courage and strength and stamina to do their job. And sometimes you just need a little bit of courage to get over it, keep going, to face your fears and do it anyway. Yeah. So that one jumped out as something to share with you all. Rapidly moving down my list. Okay. Then here is rose quartz. I don't know if you can see that it's pink. Rose quartz. I've shown this to you lots of times, but rose quartz is such a beautiful, loving stone, and it's all about self-love. And self-mastery is not something that you get a certificate on. Okay. It's not something you can fully achieve in this lifetime. I mean, maybe a couple of fellows have or gals have done that in history, but as a rule, we're in school here. This is our human experience. We're learning, we're growing as souls. The frequency of rose quartz reminds us that we have to love ourselves. We have to have our own cup filled before we're available to others. And we are so worthy and we are so beautiful as light beings in a human experience. We're coming from love, we are love, we return to love. And this reminds us of that. To love yourself first. It's not selfish. It helps you show up for others when your cup is filled. Okay? So, when you get disappointed, the frequency of rose quartz helps you remember to take care of yourself first. Last but not least, we have kunzite. Now, kunzite is also a water element, and it can be white or it can be pink. I don't know if you can see the pink. on the video, but yeah, this one's pretty pink. And it's really the frequency of universal love. So the love of the higher self, the love of source, the unconditional love that we are and we came from and we return to. That is this. This is the highest frequency in the water element. And it just it's lovely to have as a reminder that no matter how effed up things can get in your life, love is always there for you if you allow it. It's always there. Thank you for joining me today as we explored how things can go awry and what to do about them. I hope I see you next time on the Crystal Coach Show. And if you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, I'm at thecrystalcoach.com, or you can email me at mycrystalcoach at Gmail, mycrystalcoach@gmail. Thanks for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time on the Crystal Coach Show. Bye for now.
You have been listening to the Crystal Coach Show, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. With me, your host, Anahata. Tune in every first and third Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com, where we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. Feel connected and reside in the vibration of love on The Crystal Coach Show. For more information and to become the best version of yourself, visit thecrystalcoach.com. That's thecrystalcoach.com. See you next time.